Good morning. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Okay, for those who are targeted individuals and stuff, um, different strokes, different folks. You're in the program for different reasons and so on. Um, but you are an experiment, you know what I mean? Um, or they could be trying to fix something in your life, or you could be a problem and they're trying to assist you in repairing it and so on. There's different variables and so on. Um, but one thing for certain is don't be bamboozled. This stuff is real. You know what I mean? So if you die, you die. If you kill someone, that person will die. They could also play it in such a way that they will give you a rifle because for some reason they love rifles. Okay, they will provide you a rifle and they might use fake bullets and so on, and they might have the little actors and stuff acting um, like, damn, you really did fire a weapon, you did really did kill this person, or you really did hurt this person, and I mean, um, so be aware of all of those things, all those elements and so on, you know. Um, but I am asking, whatever you do, be conscientious of what you're doing. Okay, this program uses a lot of trickery. Okay, so um, I had to tap into a little bit of my spirituality for a morale compass and for strategies to surviving. Okay, um, your mental stability is like this. Okay, if you realize that everywhere you touch, you're being deceived or trickery, and I mean, everything is trickery, and I mean, you're gonna fall back onto a foundation that is not moving. It's stable. If this bridge, if there is, suppose there's many bridges to get into New York City, and everyone you touch, and I mean, cars seems to be the drive, like cars seem to be falling over or falling through the structure of the bridge and stuff. And I mean, you're gonna reverse and then you're gonna try another bridge. But like every bridge you trying is falling apart. You're gonna always remember, like, you know what? There's one secure way that I was taught growing up that I used every time before I became this professional driver and stuff. And using any bridge and stuff, you're gonna fall back onto the one that you remember as never. It's sorry, I shouldn't even say bridge. There's one way to cross into New York City without damaging yourself, your cars. You know, what I mean, there's one concrete way of getting across New York City, and if that's the ferry. You're gonna come back and take that ferry over, because there's always your conscientiousness will always bring you back to like something that's stable and will help you get over there. Well, mine was spirituality. You know what I mean? Um, you know, some people might be touching. You know what I mean? Some people it like some everybody's different. You know what I mean? Um, I cannot give you my shirt and expect it to fit my comfortable um, whatever shirt I'm wearing, whatever large, extra large, 2XL. I cannot give you mines and expect it to fit you comfortably. It's not a one size fits all. So at that point you have to try to find what's yours. You know what I mean? Um, they use a lot of trickery, man. And for me to defeat them, I had to come back into what I know as truth. You know, and I pretty much I try to expose everything because I didn't understand what he was doing. I really thought, because when I went to talk to the state trooper, I used his information, and I mean, because I don't know what's going on. And he said, "Do I have any enemies? Do I have? Is it in is it like infidelity? Like, do you think people follow me to catch me cheating and stuff. And I mean, and then he said, do I think if it's for fraud insurance? But he was being slick now. And I mean, because this is the same guy who told me, if I see you in the streets with car light, I'll give you a ticket. So he probably went back after, because I was like a problem to them. So he was probably talking like, because state troopers and the sheriffs and stuff, every probably like once a week or every short time, they sit down and they talk about people in the community, the problems that's going on in the community, um, DUIs, heroin. If they're gonna make a drug bust, they all on the same plate and so on. So they probably know who I was. And I mean, and they're like, okay, this guy at night and stuff, because they have assets that keep information on me and so on. This guy is driving around at night and stuff and having a lot of extramarital affairs and so on. And I mean, or they can't say a lot, but I know they could say I was having sex with one person. You know what I mean? And and he we don't think his we don't think his diagnosis is right. We think he's faking it, because if you say fraud insurance, think about that for a second, right? And plus, I'm collecting three. I'm collecting. I said it already, Tom, and I mean, um, I'm collecting three different compensations, so on. So they're probably like, okay, damn, this dude really look like a stable, functioning person, so on, man. He gotta be faking the funk. And I mean, so they really did make me unstable. You know what I mean? Because if you look back at everything, I lost my house, right? When you're on an unstable person loses their house and their family and stuff, right? So they made me unstable. You know what I mean? So I had to fight for my style. Like, you know what? No matter what they do, they're not gonna take my life. You know what I mean? And I was at that point, man. Like people putting stuff in my food and stuff, man. You know what I mean? It was really scary out here. You know what I mean? And the only thing that brought me out of it and stuff really was my spirituality. And the psychiatrists know that. You know what I mean? The psychiatry industry knows that um, a lot of people rely on religion, um, and I mean ideologies to bring them out of jams and stuff. You know what I mean? And I have learned. I always knew God was real. I always knew, because I had the encounter in the spirit of God. But sometimes, at times, when I tried to study it and so on, you know what I mean? I like, maybe it wasn't God. It was something different and so on. You know what I mean? But then I gotta come back to ground zero and be like, it did come out of my chest. So whatever it was of me. You know what I'm saying? Um, so at times that I go through that period and stuff too. So what's going on with me now as a target individual? My body has a chip in it, and I mean, I'm not fearful of it. I just don't wanna. I just don't wanna partake of it and so on. They could say like they was doing that to kind of, because I refused to be on medicine and stuff, and they wanted to kind of attenuate the problem to help me get over this obstacle. No. If I wanted that, I would have gone to the VA and be like, okay, I'm really struggling now, blah, 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 blah. I didn't ask them for that. So they went against my consent. And they do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Case in point, Frank Olson. Okay. That was one of their own. They did that too. Okay. Go look up Frank Olson. Go look up MK Ultra and you understand. Okay. Well, they did that. I think the tooth also, because when I was doing the surgery with the implant, I started experiencing a lot of migraine. Like right now, every once in a while, I could tell it's them. You know what I mean? Because that's how I communicate with them and so on. Like this ear right here be getting numb. You know what I mean? So they had me in an MK Ultra experiment also. I don't know if this one will be, because a lot of stuff when I look it up online is documented and not documented. Like they said, YT Bulger was documented, but other people below it and stuff wasn't documented. You know what I mean? Is the lawyers had to go and find it and so on, and Wikipedia threw it in there. So of course they go create a lot of ambiguity. So for me now, I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of ambiguity, because if I'm in this program so long since 2018, and the VA hasn't come and talked to me and stuff, or at least acknowledged, well, okay, Mr. Thorpe, we was experimenting and so on. Because I'm boxing it all the time. I keep saying like over and over again. The psychiatrist knows that. That's why they don't really sweat me on that when they hear my stories and so on. You know what I mean? Um, so I realize I'm gonna be an undocumented case, and that hurts my heart because they send the agents to come and talk to me. Okay, we're gonna take you now to the mobile crisis area and stuff, but we want you. Listen to me. I want you to tell the truth. Okay, I want you to tell the truth. So now you want me to tell the truth, but you don't want to tell the truth on me. And I'm saying, come on, man. Like my kids, like you have my daughter Jada. That's the only one. Like I wasn't there from the beginning for Jasmine, but this one was mine, man. I was molding her the way I wanted her. Like she was gonna be a soccer player. You know what? I can't say how the way I was molding her the way I wanted her. I was molding her in the expectations of what the universe expected of me. You know what I mean? And you guys just took that away entirely. No, she's saying like I'm a crazy person. And I mean like you guys have to fix that. You guys really have to fix that. And I mean, so I don't know. I get it. It's a program that guys want to keep reusing and so on. And I know now you guys not gonna come out in my lifetime. You know, 23 years later, they were fighting. That goes to show. As soon as that person died, your parents and your family is concerned. Like, how did he die? How did he die? You know what I mean? We know he's a federal employee doing research and development stuff. You know what I mean? To better enhance medicinary and stuff. And I mean, like, how did he die? But they were asking questions from the time he died, and they only get answers 23 years later. Go look it up. Frank Olson. You know what I mean? And at the same time, look up other MK Ultra. It exists. You know what I mean? Um, but my uncle scared me, boy. Uncle Norman and Norman Ackley. He said, like, bruh, what you doing? Do you know by talking about this stuff publicly and stuff, man? You're endangering your life. Look at Gary Weber. Sorry, Gary Webb. You know what I mean? Like he's the investigative journalist that want to talk about the Nicaragua Contras, man. They found this dude. I'm gonna use his words, okay? They found this Negro. He's not Negro, he's white. They found this Negro dead. They put with two bullets in the head. How could you die with two? And then I stood up. I sat back and I thought about it. I was like, oh Lord, they're gonna kill me because like I could literally see them. You know what I mean? You know, and like, how could you see people following you? Talk about it. You're pointing at them. They're laughing and shit. You know what I mean? But when you go to the cops to complain, like, cause Miss Manning at this, she she's not. I don't hate her and stuff. I really love her and stuff, right? But she's a really good actor, man. She was like, from what I understand with this, with people of your diagnosis, don't you think medicine could help and stuff like? Just try it. Just try the medicine. And I'm saying, she didn't say just try, but she's like basically hinting to me maybe I should like sit back and reassess taking the medicine and so on. That's what she's doing. That's what her job is there for. Okay, to kind of reinforce to me maybe I should consider the medicine. Okay, remember now, if people plotting against you and saying your breath stink, you're gonna start believing it. You know what I'm saying? And then people who don't know about it and stuff, because like I have to be truthful now. So if I go and I talk to my buddy like Stephen Andrews and so on, um, like after a while he gonna start believing it because like you're only as strong. Like, do you remember cherry picking? Okay, if you're doing the cherry picking exercise for like it's as light as this because there's no weight to my hand. Okay, um, if you do the cherry picking exercise for probably 30 minutes, that's gonna feel like 1,000 pounds on your arm. If you do it for an hour, it's gonna feel like 2,000 pounds on your arm. And I mean, meaning the message in that metaphor is that uh, the longer you play this game, the greater the toll and belief and the weaker you become. eventually you're gonna start believing yourself. You're gonna start believing them like, man, maybe my breath do stink. Maybe I am definitely schizo. You know what I mean? Maybe well, I don't believe I'm schizo, but based on the medical industry, the algorithm that they are given to identify and give a person that label, I meet that. You know what I mean? But not all schizo deserve to be on medicine. Okay. But anyways, man, based on the algorithm that they have to pick from to make this decision of me being a schizo, I meet that. So I'm only using that. But remember now, right? That's the devil. You know what I'm saying? That's the devil blacklisting God's people. You know what I mean? So that people, not everybody now, not everybody. You know what I mean? But if God give me a message, okay? Because in that message is for me. That message was not for anybody, it was for me. But I saw a part that everybody was wearing foils and stuff. That message is for everybody now because I could simply said like when in the future and stuff, a lot of people gonna be wearing foil hats and stuff. You know what I mean? And I didn't see like if I saw 100 people, I didn't see not one person not wearing a foil. Everybody they look like all Muslims, all Jews and stuff. You know how they have that stuff in their head? That's what they look at. You know what I'm saying? So I could say to well, if they could do that to me, and I saw that in the future, be aware. And it was like, damn, we gotta shut him up, man. We don't want him to destroy the ecosystem of what we have going on and so on. You know what I mean? Let's quarantine him, give him a diagnosis of chicken pox and stuff, and say everybody like, if you touch this dude, you're gonna get chicken pox too. You know what I'm saying? Because look at it. I'm in isolation, right? And then according to the algorithm for schizo, you're gonna be isolated. You're gonna feel like you don't trust anybody. You're gonna have a Superman complex. You're gonna be this. You're gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? And boom, I meet it. I meet the whole criterion stuff. So the devil is winning, right? The devil doesn't win, man. You know what I mean? The devil is a child of God. Like my child might think she could out trick me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always in control. Just like people will think they could trick the government, like scamming. Beautiful example. Okay, a lot of people might think like, yeah, boy, I'm making millions. I'm scamming the government. This is untouchable and so on. They all get caught. Drug dealers, they all get eventually get catch, right? Ain't nobody getting away with scamming the government. Okay, think about me for a second. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, like okay, he looking like he's functional, boy. He's not on medicine and he's functioning like red flag or light bulb. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of tricksters and so on. Nobody's scamming the government ever again. And if they might get away once, they might get away twice. Government too smart. Government sees all. Like, the eye on the dollar, that's them. Right? Well, anyway, so like my kids can't trick me. It's the same way I cannot trick the government. It's the same way the government cannot trick the devil. It's the same way the devil cannot trick God. You know what I mean? You know. But on earth, man, the Lord is the earth and the fullness thereof. At times, man, I was saying to folks, man, that like God and the devil is the same person. Because that's how I felt. I felt like the same people who are helping me is the same people who are torturing me. You know what I'm saying? You know? But because in the same day, we have two forces of night and day. You know what I'm saying? In the same date, we have the forces of night and day. So I just thought for a second, like maybe like, even though there's multiple gods and stuff, you know what I mean? But Mosaic law, I fall on I go on the Mosaic when it comes to understand who God is and so on. I believe in one God, you know what I mean? And it's three entities, but one power, you know what I mean? Father, Son, Holy Spirit, three entities, but one, they work together. So there's multiple gods. And if there could be multiple gods, there's also multiple gods working in the spiritual forces too, who could come off like God, could fool you like God and stuff. And I mean, and I was just thinking one spirit is capable of doing good and bad. You know what I mean? You know, because we was built in symmetry. You know what I mean? Your face has symmetry to it. You have a front, you have a back, you have symmetry to you. And I mean, everything is symmetry. I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna do another one.